Hi guys, I'm Miss Taylor with Schoolyard Roots, and I'm here with your guys' art teacher.
Hi, this is Ruth O'Connor, and I am your art teacher for the 4th and the 5th graders here at TASPA. And we came inside because we're going to be working together on an arts integrated lesson. So this week you are taking home, your families are going to pick up an art kit, and I'll talk about this more later, but you have lots of fun art stuff that you can use for our art assignments. You're going to pick one of these up, and you're also going to pick up an growing kit. And Miss Taylor is going to talk to you about the growing kit and what's inside and what you're going to do with it. But before you start with Miss Taylor on what's going to happen with the growing kit, I wanted to show you something you can do with your art supplies and your growing kit together before you get started. Can I start?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So inside, you are going to find, what is this, Miss Taylor?
That is a bag of soil.
Okay, so we're gonna leave that there for now. We're not gonna work with it yet. I see, what is this, Miss Taylor?
Ooh, that is our seed packet.
Okay, we're not gonna work with that yet. We're gonna wait for Miss Taylor later. And we have this, what is this?
Our instructions.
Okay, let's put our instructions there. We don't need it yet for art. And our last but not least item, bag is empty. What do we call this, Miss Taylor?
That is our pot.
It's a little pot. Now this pot's a little different than the ones I have in my house because if I push too hard, it'll break. See how it's squishable? See, it still has a bottom. It's about that big. I don't know, 1-2 inches, you think, Miss Taylor? Yeah,
yep.
About that. And it looks like it's made out of newspaper or cardboard. And so I thought the cool thing that you could do is if you have art supplies at home, you could use yours, or you can use the ones that I gave you. I gave you a permanent marker. Do you think we can use that, Miss Taylor?
I think that would be a good idea.
I think so too. And I gave you a new box of crayons with all colors. How many colors in here? 16 colors. Do you think we can use that, Miss Taylor?
Yeah, gotta add some color.
So what I did, because this is round, and usually when you're in art with me, you're working on a flat piece of paper, and this is a little bit of a challenge to do art on something that's round. So this is called the circumference, all the space around. It's a little bit of math we're throwing in there. I'm gonna open up my marker, make sure that I'm not gonna paint on myself because I don't want that. And with your permanent marker, you can draw on the outside. Now this is what's tricky. If you push too hard, you're probably gonna get a hole. So don't push too hard so you don't make a hole in your pot, okay? So I'm gonna draw maybe just a line. You can draw lines on it. Some of you like to do patterns. What if you do like a zigzag? It doesn't matter what you do. I'm gonna let you have lots of freedom in decorating the outside of your pot however you would like to do. Okay, so that's what the marker looks like. It's nice and bold. You can do dots, lines, shapes, whatever you want, doesn't matter. Close up your permanent marker because we don't want it drying out. I'm not gonna give you another one, so take care of this one. Put it back in your bag. Crayons. All right, Miss Taylor, what colors do you think I should use? Give me one.
Ooh, I like green.
Green, okay, let's do, ooh, I've got 2 greens. I'm gonna do the lighter green. I wonder why Miss Taylor picked green. Okay, so when I start to color and start to see the color, it's not gonna be super bright. You can also do markers if you have markers at home. If you have watercolors, I might not use that because Miss Taylor's gonna show you later what you do with water, so I wouldn't do watercolors. But markers, crayons, how about color pencils? You think they could
I think they would work, yeah.
Color pencils maybe, so whatever you want, and you can decorate all the way across. And I already did one last week, and Miss Taylor will show it to you.
And you can see how she decorated and kind of did different color blocks.
And I have a little code down there. I'll tell you what that means a little bit later because it's kind of like a little science experiment I have. But I have codes on the bottom with letters. I'll tell you what those letters mean later. Okay, I wanted to show you what not to do with these little pots, okay? they can break. And so when I was coloring with color pencils, I know I didn't give you color pencils in your art kit, but if you have at home, color pencils are very hard, okay? So if you start to draw like this, what do you think is gonna happen? You can make a hole in it, right? So I want you to hold your pencil, actually how artists hold their pencil when they're drawing, sideways. And you're gonna use the side of your pencil, not the tip of your pencil. And this is how I would teach you for art class anyways, if we were doing it on paper, is to use the side. Now, why do you think you can't see anything? This color on this color, nothing seems to happen. Why is that? Well, Miss O'Connor, because that color is too similar to this color. So if you want something to pop, something to really come through, you have to pick a color that's very different. I think green is very different than this brown color. So if I use this one, now you can see it a little better. You know what you could also do is put your thumbs, or sorry, not your thumbs, but your fingers in like this and gently hold it. And then that gives you a little bit of pressure to push on without making a hole. Now you can still see that a little bit better. Almost looks like a neon sign. That's kind of cute. Let's see what this color does. Not so much, but you can still see it. Oh, I can feel it on my fingers. Ooh, I wonder what red will do. Red is really popping out, right? Because red is a very different color. So you can try different colors. If you have markers, same thing. But since markers are a little more saturated, the tip might be okay. You can hold the tip. Let me do it right here. You can hold the tip and push lightly. That would be fine. So tips for markers is fine, or the sides for markers. You can do that too. Now, if you really want to plan this, you can sketch out what you're going to draw on a piece of paper first and then go to the pot. But if you don't, if you want to just go for it, you can do that too. Let's see this color on a marker. Ooh, that's pretty dark. That works too. And the more I rub on it, this has a texture to it, so it's not gonna fill in every little crevice, every little corner, but that's okay. That kind of still has a cool look to it. And you can work with the texture, which is another art word, the texture of your pot. Last but not least are your lovely crayons that I did put in the art kit for you. I like the crayons actually the best for this because it goes on smooth and you don't have to push hard, and I'm not worried about making a hole. The ones I like the least are the color pencils because it's a little harder and I'm scared I'm gonna make a hole. If you make a hole, we can't give you another one. This is the one you get. So if you make a hole by accident, don't stress about it. You can still put your dirt in it, you can still work it, you'll just have a little bit of a leak probably. So try your best, don't poke a hole, use any supplies that you want, and have fun. Okay, Miss Taylor, take it away. My job is done. I'm gonna put this back because Miss Taylor has her own kit there. Okay guys, once you have decorated your pot, now it's time to go on and start adding the soil and the seeds to your pot. So like Miss O'Connor said, you have an instruction sheet, you have a bag of soil and a seed packet along with the pot and your brown paper bag. This is your growing kit. And the first thing that our directions say is to take out the Ziploc baggie and dump it into the brown pot. So I have my Ziploc baggie full of soil and my brown pot. And you are going to dump some of your soil until it's about 3/4 of the way full. Now it can be a little messy, so this might be a project that you want to do outside or put a piece of newspaper down so it's easy to clean up. But then once you've gotten about 3/4 of it full, you're going to use 2 fingers and lightly press the soil into your pot. Not too hard, but just enough to kind of compact the soil. The next thing that we are going to do is it says make 4 to 5 small holes in your soil
with your index finger. And because our seeds are teeny tiny, they're in this little seed packet, we don't want our holes too deep. So when you make your holes, you're just gonna go to the tip of your fingernail, and this will ensure that there's not too much soil over top of the seeds that it inhibits them to grow. So I'm gonna make some small holes, 4 to 5 holes in my little
4 to 5 holes.
pot. And then I'm going to open up my seed packet. Now the seeds that are in the seed packet, everyone has the same seeds. They are called mustard seeds. And I don't know if any of you guys have a pet fish, but they kind of look like fish food. They're teeny tiny. I don't know if you guys have a betta fish, but when you pour out your seeds, you want to cup your hand. You're going to make a cup so that the seeds don't fall out. And with the seeds in the palm of your hand, you're going to take 1 to 2 seeds and place them into each hole. So I have my seeds in my hole, but the holes are still uncovered. And so the next step is you're going to take a little bit more soil and you're going to sprinkle it on top. And this will help kind of make a nice home for the seeds so that they can grow. You're going to cover your holes and then you're going to lightly press down with your 2 index fingers. And then you're going to place in a sunny windowsill, and you're going to water every couple of days or until the soil is dry. So sometimes, depending on the weather or the temperature of your home, it could mean that you water every day, or it can mean you water every other day or every couple days. But we want to make sure that the soil is moist and that it is near a sunny window so that the seeds will germinate.
I have a question. So some days we've been having hot weather and some days we've been having cold weather because fall is here. So Ms. Taylor, what do we do if it's very cold outside? Can I leave my pot outside in the cold, or do I need to be bringing it inside?
Yes, I would bring it inside, especially those first couple of days that your seeds are germinating. For a seed to germinate, it needs to be warm inside, or it just needs to have warm air to help it germinate. And so on cold nights, I would bring it inside, or even cold days. Okay.
So if I leave one here at school, I have a window over there. I can show you later. Maybe I'll put it by that window so it's nice and warm. Show an up close of what I did on the patterns. Okay, I'm gonna come up to you, so stay there. Now this one's wet on the bottom, so you can see how it looks darker, and that happens in a lot of things. I'll think about, like, maybe if you wash your hair or something, or your shirt gets wet, it gets darker. The same thing happens with this, and that happens with art supplies too. So it's darker down here because it's still wet, and you can see my soil is darker. I don't know if you can see this backwards or if it's the right way, but this one I wrote pen and M. That means a marker. So here I'm doing a little experiment. This is pen and marker. This is just marker. This is CP, which means color pencil. So I did 2 color pencils there. Another CP, I did a dark blue and a light blue. I mixed it so it looks like it's fading. I was trying to get like a different effect. C is for crayon, so that's straight, just 1 crayon. And this is a lot of different crayons built together, just kind of layered on top of each other. And what I'm thinking is gonna happen is the more I water and the more the plant grows, maybe some of these will fade, maybe some of these will not. And I just wanna see which art supplies works best on this very particular kind of stuff, whatever this is made out of, this little pot. So that's what I did, but you don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want. Okay, I'm gonna put this down. I don't know if there's anything else you wanna share, Ms. Taylor?
I guess one thing to note is that your seeds aren't going to germinate the day after you do this. It might take, 5 to 7 days in order to see the little sprouts of the seeds. So don't get discouraged if you don't see a seedling popping up out of the soil right away. Sometimes it takes some time.
Yeah, that's called patience, right? We can do that. I did mine's, I can't remember, maybe 3 or 4 days ago, and I still haven't seen anything, but I'm going to keep it in a sunny place and keep it moist, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then we'll wait to see. Now that's not all the art we're gonna do. I'm gonna get you started. Once the plant starts to grow, then we're gonna do more art together with your plant, okay? So keep your art supplies, keep growing your plant, and we'll keep doing arts integrated lessons together with Schoolyard Roots.